Have you ever wondered why some people seem to dislike you, even when you've done nothing wrong? It's an unsettling feeling, isn't it? You're left questioning, is it something I said? Something I did? What if the reason lies in subtle, often unnoticed behaviors or attitudes that create friction without you even realizing it? This video is for anyone seeking clarity about social dynamics, relationships, and personal growth. Whether you feel misunderstood, face social rejection, or simply want to improve how others perceive you, this guide will reveal 9 common reasons why people may secretly harbor negative feelings towards you, and how Stoic philosophy can help you overcome them. This isn't just another theory-filled lecture, it's a practical, actionable guide grounded in real-life examples and timeless wisdom. By the end of this video, you'll understand the hidden causes of social friction and how to navigate them confidently and gracefully. If you find value in this video, don't forget to like it and share it with friends. By sharing, you'll help others improve their social relationships, while motivating us to create more insightful content like this. Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to stay updated with our latest videos. Reason 1. Envy. When your success makes others feel insecure. Let's begin with the first reason. Envy. You've worked hard, achieved something meaningful, or perhaps you just exude confidence, and yet, instead of admiration, you sense resentment. Why does this happen? Envy stems from insecurity. When people see qualities or accomplishments in you that they wish they had, it can trigger feelings of inadequacy. While their envy is not your fault, the way you handle it can either diffuse or amplify the tension. One way to handle envy is by practicing humility. The Stoics believed in maintaining composure and humility regardless of your achievements. Rather than bragging or drawing unnecessary attention to your success, focus on gratitude. For example, instead of saying, "I worked so hard and I'm finally the best at what I do," try saying, "I'm grateful for the opportunities that led me here." This shift in perspective helps avoid triggering feelings of envy in others. Another effective approach is to acknowledge the efforts of those around you. Sometimes a small compliment can go a long way. If you sense someone is envious, find an opportunity to recognize their strengths. You could say, "You're so detail-oriented. It's inspiring to see how much thought you put into your work." Acknowledging their contributions not only shows appreciation, but also helps reduce the negative feelings they might harbor toward you. It's also crucial to avoid comparisons, as people's envy often intensifies when they feel compared to others. Shifting conversations away from a who's better dynamic and focusing instead on collaboration or shared goals can ease any tension. Finally, it's important to reflect internally. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, advised that we should focus on our own growth rather than worrying about others' opinions. If someone's envy affects you emotionally, remind yourself that their feelings are a reflection of their struggles, not your worth. By addressing envy with empathy, humility, and self-awareness, you can diffuse tension and foster better relationships. Reason 2. Arrogance. When confidence crosses the line, confidence is an admirable trait, but when it crosses into arrogance, it can make people uncomfortable or even alienate them. The Stoics teach us that true wisdom lies in balancing self-assurance with humility. Arrogance creates an unspoken barrier that separates you from others. When people perceive you as dismissive, condescending, or overly self-important, they feel undervalued. This perception can erode trust and make others secretly resentful, even if they don't express it outwardly. To avoid this, it's important to cultivate self-awareness. Take a moment to reflect on how you present yourself in conversations and interactions. Are you dominating the dialogue? Do you dismiss others' ideas or make them feel unheard? Socrates, a revered Stoic thinker, famously said, "I know that I know nothing," underscoring the importance of humility and the recognition that we are all in the process of learning. Adopting this mindset helps keep your confidence grounded and prevents it from turning into arrogance. Another key strategy is practicing active listening. People appreciate being truly heard, and by focusing on their words instead of preparing your response, you show respect for their perspective. A simple way to demonstrate this is by paraphrasing their points, saying something like, "So you're saying we could improve the project by focusing on X? That's a great perspective." This not only shows that you value their input, but also fosters a more open and collaborative environment. Sharing credit generously is also vital in avoiding arrogance. If you've achieved something with a team, openly acknowledge their contributions. Rather than saying, "I led this project to success," reframe it by saying, "Our team worked hard, and I'm proud of what we accomplished together." This promotes a sense of unity and highlights that success is a collective effort, not solely the result of your own actions. Additionally, learning from criticism is an essential aspect of humility. Arrogance often leads to defensiveness when someone critiques you. Instead of rejecting the feedback, approach it with curiosity, asking yourself, "What can I learn from this?" This mindset not only improves your relationships with others, but also helps you grow personally, making you more receptive and adaptable in the long run. Stoic wisdom provides further guidance in managing arrogance. Epictetus, a famous Stoic philosopher, reminds us to distinguish between what we can control and what we cannot. While you have control over your confidence, how others perceive it is beyond your control. However, by demonstrating humility and remaining open-minded, you can shape how your confidence is received. When you strike a balance between being confident and allowing others to shine, you create an atmosphere of mutual respect and admiration. This not only strengthens your relationships, but also ensures that people see you as a collaborator rather than a competitor. Reason 3. Negativity. When complaining becomes your identity. Do you find yourself frequently venting about frustrations or pointing out flaws? While occasional complaints are normal, consistently focusing on the negative can make people perceive you as a drain on their energy. Over time, negativity can push others away. When someone is constantly negative, it creates a heavy atmosphere. People start associating interactions with you as emotionally taxing. Even well-meaning venting, if overdone, can leave others feeling helpless or annoyed, making them less eager to engage with you. To combat this, one approach is to shift your focus to solutions instead of fixating on problems. For example, if a project at work is delayed, rather than saying, "This is such a mess," try reframing it with, "What steps can we take to get back on track?" This not only changes the tone of the conversation, but also demonstrates leadership and a proactive mindset. It shifts the energy from complaint to action, helping everyone involved feel more empowered. Another way to manage negativity is by limiting complaints to constructive moments. The Stoic practice of restraint advises that before expressing dissatisfaction, you should ask yourself, will voicing this improve the situation? Or is it just venting? This simple question helps ensure that any concerns you express are purposeful and aimed at creating change, rather than merely airing frustrations. Gratitude journaling is another powerful strategy to shift your mindset. Marcus Aurelius, in his meditations, frequently reflected on gratitude to combat negativity. He recommended writing down 3 things you're thankful for each day. Over time, this practice can naturally shift your perspective toward the positive, allowing you to focus more on the good in your life, rather than dwelling on what's going wrong. Additionally, surrounding yourself with positive influences is crucial. The people around you shape your outlook, so spending time with those who inspire optimism can help recalibrate your mindset. Their energy will naturally uplift you, making your interactions with others more pleasant and encouraging. For example, consider someone complaining about a rainy day. Instead of lamenting the weather, they could say, "This weather is perfect for catching up on indoor tasks or enjoying a cozy book." This small shift in mindset makes a significant difference in how others perceive you, as it reflects a more balanced, positive outlook. From a Stoic perspective, while external events may not always align with our desires, we control how we respond to them. The Stoics believed that by embracing challenges as opportunities for growth, We embody resilience and positivity. These traits naturally attract others and help us build stronger, more meaningful relationships. By limiting negativity and embracing a proactive, solution-focused mindset, you create a more uplifting environment for yourself and those around you. Reason 4. Overstepping boundaries. When your actions feel intrusive. Do you sometimes give unsolicited advice, pry into personal matters, or push people to share more than they're comfortable with? While your intentions may be good, overstepping. Boundaries can make others feel uneasy or even resentful. Boundaries are essential for maintaining healthy relationships. When you disregard them, people may feel disrespected or vulnerable, leading to discomfort and eventually avoidance. Even acts of kindness, if perceived as too invasive, can backfire and create distance between you and others. To respect boundaries, it's important to observe both verbal and nonverbal cues. For instance, if someone changes the subject or offers brief responses when discussing a sensitive topic, it might be a sign they're uncomfortable. Being mindful of these subtle signals helps ensure that you don't overstep. Additionally, rather than assuming someone needs your advice or help, it's better to ask first. A simple question like, "Would you like my input?" or "Can I help with that?" shows consideration for their preferences and puts the choice in their hands. Respecting boundaries also involves setting your own and being aware of the space others need. Reflect on how you would want others to respect your personal space, whether it's giving you room to respond to texts or not pressing for details on a personal issue someone might share. It's crucial to allow people to share at their own pace without pushing for more than they're willing to disclose. And if you realize you've overstepped, it's important to acknowledge it gracefully. A simple, "I hope I didn't overstep when I said that. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable," shows maturity and can help rebuild trust. The Stoics emphasized self-discipline and the importance of minding one's own business. Epictetus, for instance, advised, "Do not seek to change things outside of your control," which includes respecting others' autonomy. By honoring their boundaries and refraining from imposing your will on them, you demonstrate respect for their space and individuality. For example, imagine a coworker struggling with a project. Instead of immediately jumping in with advice, you could say, "If you need a second set of eyes, let me know. I'd be happy to help." This leaves the decision to them, allowing them to maintain control and avoiding unintentional overreach. By respecting boundaries in this way, you foster trust and create a safe, comfortable environment where people feel more willing to engage with you openly. Reason 5. Being inauthentic when you're not true to yourself. Have you ever felt the need to change who you are to fit in or be liked? While this may seem like a way to gain approval, people often sense when someone isn't being genuine. This lack of authenticity can lead to distrust and make others feel uneasy. Humans are naturally drawn to authenticity because it fosters connection and trust. When your words, actions, or beliefs are inconsistent, it creates confusion and skepticism. People may start to wonder, what is this person hiding? To embrace authenticity, it's important to first understand your own values. Take time to reflect on what truly matters to you and ensure your actions align with those principles. For instance, if honesty is important to you, prioritize it even in challenging situations. Avoid excessive people-pleasing, as it can lead to burnout and resentment. It's natural to want to be liked, but bending over backward to please everyone is neither sustainable nor fulfilling. Instead, focus on building mutual respect by being true to yourself, even if it means politely saying no when necessary. Share your thoughts and opinions without fear, but always do so with kindness and respect. For example, if you don't agree with a popular opinion, you can express your viewpoint by saying, "I see where you're coming from, but I have a different perspective. Here's why." Being consistent in your actions and words is also crucial. If you promise to help someone, follow through. If you stand for a principle, demonstrate it in your everyday behavior. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, wisely wrote, "Never esteem anything as of advantage to you that will make you break your word or lose your self-respect." The Stoics believed in living in harmony with one's values, unshaken by external pressures. By staying true to yourself, you cultivate inner peace and earn genuine respect. An example of embracing authenticity could be a situation where a friend invites you to an event you're not interested in attending. Instead of making an excuse, you could simply say, "Thanks for thinking of me, but this isn't my thing. Let's catch up another time." While this might feel uncomfortable in the moment, your honesty will be appreciated, and it helps build trust in the long run. By embracing authenticity, you attract people who value you for who you truly are, not for who you're pretending to be, ultimately leading to deeper, more meaningful relationships. Reason 6. Lack of empathy. When you fail to understand others' perspectives. Do you often dismiss people's feelings, interrupt their stories, or overlook their struggles? A lack of empathy can make others feel invisible and disconnected from you. Empathy is the foundation of meaningful relationships, and when you fail to listen or acknowledge someone's emotions, it sends the message that you don't value their experiences. This can lead to frustration, hurt feelings, and distance in relationships. Without empathy, it becomes difficult to form deep connections, as others may feel that their thoughts and emotions are not worth your attention. To develop empathy, it's important to practice active listening. This means focusing entirely on the other person without interrupting or planning your response. Show that you're engaged by nodding or offering affirmations like, "I see," or "That must have been hard." Asking open-ended questions, such as, "How did that make you feel?" or "What can I do to support you?" can also help others open up and share their emotions. It's equally important to put yourself in their shoes. Imagine how you'd feel in their situation. For example, if a coworker is struggling to meet a deadline, try to consider their workload or any personal challenges they may be facing before jumping to conclusions. Validating someone's feelings, even if you don't agree with their perspective, is crucial for building trust. A simple statement like, "I understand why you'd feel that way," can help make others feel heard and valued. The Stoics, while focusing on controlling one's own emotions, also emphasized understanding others' humanity. Marcus Aurelius advised being tolerant with others and strict with oneself, suggesting that we show compassion for others' flaws and struggles while holding ourselves accountable. An example of empathy in action might be when a friend cancels plans at the last minute. Instead of feeling irritated, you could express concern by asking, "Is everything okay? Do you need to talk about anything?" This simple act of understanding can deepen your connection and show that you genuinely care. By practicing empathy, you create a sense of safety and connection that draws people toward you. It transforms your relationships from surface-level interactions into meaningful bonds built on mutual respect and understanding. Reason 7. Being unreliable. When your words and actions don't align. Do you often make promises you can't keep or fail to show up when expected? Being unreliable, even unintentionally, can lead to frustration and erode trust in relationships. When you're unreliable, people begin to feel like they can't count on you, which creates a sense of instability and disappointment. Over time, this discourages others from depending on you or involving you in meaningful parts of their lives, ultimately damaging your relationships. To build reliability, it's important to commit only to what you can actually deliver. Being honest about your limits is crucial. Instead of saying yes to every request, take a moment to evaluate whether you have the time and energy to follow through. Setting clear expectations when you agree to something can also help avoid misunderstandings. For example, instead of saying, "I'll send that report soon," you could say, "I'll have it to you by 4 p.m. tomorrow." Consistency in following through on your commitments is key, as small actions matter. If you promise to call someone back, make sure you do it, as reliability is built one action at a time. If for any reason you can't meet a commitment, it's important to apologize and make amends. Taking responsibility and saying something like, "I'm sorry I missed our meeting. It was my mistake and I'll make sure it doesn't happen again," demonstrates accountability and helps rebuild trust. The Stoic approach to reliability emphasizes integrity. Epictetus advised, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. which means aligning your actions with your intentions and staying true to your commitments. An example of reliability in action would be agreeing to help a friend move and then showing up on the day of the move, even if you're busy. This simple act reinforces the belief that you are dependable and value their trust. By becoming someone others can rely on, you build stronger connections and foster mutual respect. People will naturally be drawn to your consistency and integrity, knowing they can count on you when it matters most. Reason 8. Being self-centered. When you prioritize yourself over others. Do you often find yourself talking about your achievements, struggles, or needs without considering how others feel? While it's natural to share personal experiences, being too self-focused can alienate those around you. People value those who take a genuine interest in their lives, and when you constantly talk about yourself, others may feel ignored or undervalued. This one-sided dynamic can lead to people feeling used or unimportant over time, as they don't receive the same level of attention or care in return. To avoid being self-centered, it's important to balance conversations. After sharing something about your own life, shift the focus to the other person. For example, after discussing your day, you could ask, "Enough about me. How has your week been?" Practicing active listening is another key strategy. Giving people your undivided attention and avoiding interruptions fosters a deeper connection. Ask thoughtful questions or make comments that reflect your understanding of their feelings. Taking a genuine interest in others also helps create more meaningful bonds. Remembering small details about the people around you and inquiring about their goals, struggles, and joys shows that you care about their well-being. Additionally, strive to give more than you take. Focus on contributing to others' lives through acts of kindness, offering support, or simply listening empathetically. By adding value to their lives, you naturally build stronger, more balanced relationships. The Stoic philosopher Seneca wrote, "No man is good by accident, and no man is bad by accident." He believed that true goodness comes from self-awareness and thoughtful action toward others. By considering the needs of those around you, you align your actions with virtue. An example of selflessness in action would be if a colleague confides in you about a personal challenge. Rather than turning the conversation back to your own issues, offering a supportive response such as, "I'm so sorry you're going through that. If there's anything I can do to help, just let me know," can strengthen your connection. By shifting the focus from yourself to those around you, you cultivate deeper, more fulfilling relationships where people feel valued and appreciated. Your interactions will become more balanced and meaningful, leading to stronger, more lasting connections. Reason 9. Being overly critical. When you focus on what's wrong, do you often find yourself pointing out others' flaws or shortcomings, even when it's unnecessary? Being overly critical, especially without offering solutions or kindness, can make people feel judged and unappreciated. While constructive criticism can be valuable, constantly focusing on what's wrong instead of what's right can create an environment where others feel insecure, inadequate, or unmotivated to try again. Over time, this can lead to people avoiding you in order to protect their self-esteem. To reduce overcriticism, it's important to choose your words carefully. Before offering feedback, consider whether your words will help the person improve or if they might hurt their feelings. Focus on the action rather than the individual. For example, instead of saying, "You always mess this up," try, "I think we could improve this part together." It's also important to balance criticism with praise. Acknowledge what the person is doing well before suggesting areas for improvement. This encourages growth without damaging confidence, such as saying, "I love how you organized the presentation. Maybe we could adjust this one section for more clarity." Additionally, asking for permission to offer feedback shows respect for the other person's perspective and allows them to decide whether they want the input. A simple, "Would you like some feedback on this?" can go a long way in maintaining a positive dynamic. Offering suggestions for improvement shows that your goal is progress, not just fault-finding. For instance, you could say, "This part could use a little work. How about we try this method?" The Stoics taught that we should focus on what we can control and avoid being harsh on others. Seneca, for example, advised, "A good character is not defined by the absence of flaws, but by the ability to handle them with grace." This wisdom suggests that instead of criticizing flaws, we should offer help and support. An example of balanced feedback in action might occur in a meeting when a colleague presents an idea. Instead of dismissing it outright, you could say, "I like where you're going with this, but here's a thought on how we can make it stronger." This approach fosters collaboration and encourages open communication, allowing for growth without discouragement. By practicing kindness and constructive feedback, you build relationships based on respect and mutual growth, making others feel supported rather than criticized. Final thoughts. How to foster stronger relationships and avoid being hated. Throughout this video, we've explored 9 key reasons why people might secretly dislike you, based on Stoic philosophy and human psychology. From arrogance to over-criticism, each reason shows how our actions and behaviors impact the relationships we build. But the good news is, with awareness and effort, you can make positive changes that help you become someone others admire and trust. It's not about being perfect. It's about striving to be better every day, cultivating empathy, and practicing kindness. By reflecting on these points and incorporating Stoic wisdom into your life, you can improve your connections with others, making them feel valued and respected. Remember, the path to stronger relationships starts with small steps. Make an effort to listen, show appreciation, and be reliable. And soon enough, you'll notice how your relationships improve.